So we're going to go through the character creation process here in the beginning of the game, so I can show you guys how to quickly move through everything. Now I'm going to pick male. Now right here, this is very important. There's normal mode, Iron Man mode, and hardcore Iron Man mode. Now Iron Man mode and hardcore Iron Man mode basically mean you can't do much interacting with the world as a whole as far as the grand exchange goes, which we'll get into what that is. Basically, that is for people that have played this game before and have some serious experience in it. I always recommend just do normal mode. I'm just going to hit the randomize button a couple of times, and what I get is what I get. So that's who we're going to do. Otherwise, you can go through here and you can change pretty much everything. You can change what your default clothes are, which you can go through and change that later in the game. Facial hair, hairstyle, skin color, male, female, whatever you want to do. So I'm just, to go through this really quick, because you really don't see this after you get like armor and things like that, I'm just going to hit done. Now I have to name my character, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. It checks the name out to make sure that it's available. And then it starts loading up your player. Now, if you sign up like this, then you are immediately just free to play, which means you don't have to actually pay any money to anybody to play this game, which seriously limits what you can do, but it still allows you to do hundreds and hundreds of hours of different things in the game. Alright, so now you get this window. I've played very recently. I have played before, not a while. I have never played before. Now, if you don't want to follow through these videos, you can do the I have never played before, which brings you through a tutorial island kind of setup where they explain everything to you. I have obviously played recently. I played before, not in a while, so maybe if you haven't played in a couple of years with all the updates, they're going to want to explain the new things to you, such as the new combat system and stuff like that. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to do the I have never played before, so you can see probably what you're going to see if you're going through this tutorial. So this is going to completely walk you through every little thing you need to do in order to play the game. So controls, everything. So there's 53 different sections we have to go through. So if we scroll, we can rotate, and we hit OK when we're done. Now on the ground here, you see this little pathway. You want to follow that path. Now I like to play with it zoomed out quite a bit, because when you're close in, you can't really access things quickly. So we're going to talk to the Runescape guide. I'm just going to go through this very quickly. To open things, you left click on them if you're using a regular mouse, which opens the door. So now we have to go talk to this guy over here. Basically, that's what most of this is we go through and we talk to survival expert, teach skills need to survive. This opens up your skills, which these are all of the different skills in the game. I don't know the exact number of them, but there's a lot of them. Half of them you can't access if you're free to play, but really you don't want to be pay to play until you get further into the game anyway. So we're going to talk about woodcutting, fishing, fire making, and cooking skills. I'm going to start with woodcutting. So they want me to cut some logs. So you have an axe already on you. Chop down a tree. Quite simple. And this is what I meant in my last video when I said that it's kind of a passive game to where it kind of does stuff for you. Now we're going to go back, talk to this guy. Put the logs to use. We're going to make a fire. So we right click, hit light. It should only take a few seconds. Now all of this stuff moves faster as you get further into the game, because right now we're level 1 on everything. So we gained experience fire making. Let's talk to this guy. If you're ever injured, eating food restore your health. Need something to cook. So now we're going to go fishing. I do need to shut the volume off in this though. I'm sure that's extremely annoying. Okay, so we have our raw shrimp. We're going to go back over here. Now we're going to use our shrimp on the fire, which then cooks it. We burnt it, which means we're going to have to try it again probably. So we're going to try it again. So we're going to go net some more. Now when you're fishing, you can actually just sit here and you can just wait and catch a whole inventory full of these things. That way if they burn, it's not really the end of the world. So we caught some raw shrimp. We're going to use the shrimp on the fire. Try this again. And this time we successfully cooked the shrimp. Now, this burnt shrimp, we don't need that, so we can actually drop it on the ground. It's not worth anything. It's not going to help us with anything. Alright, so now we are going to learn more about cooking. Now, this up here is your mini map. It's not going to let me expand it because we're not that far in yet, but you can see that's where you want to go. And you can actually click on this map, and your character will move to where you clicked. You have to be careful as you get into the game, though. Sometimes there's monsters in that area that you don't want to go near, and if you do that, you might run past them. So this is explaining the mini-map. We want to go to there. So basically, this is just telling me what I just told you. So this tutorial goes on and on and on. I'm not going to walk through every single step of it. There's tons of guides for that online, and you can also just read everything in here. I just want to show you what to expect when you sign up. So what I'm going to do is finish going through the tutorial really quickly, as you'll see, and then we will pick up when we get out of Tutorial Island. Okay, we are teleporting into the world. We are done with Tutorial Island. Here we go. Alright, we're going to skip the cutscene because we don't need to see that to play the game. We're going to go over here, talk to Tariel. And we'll say Fortune and Glory. Alright, so we need to defeat some rabbits. Right over here. Kill the bunny! Doink. Kill the bunny! Doink. Now again, you can play this game as a pacifist, but you have to get through all of this stuff first before we can get to that point. I hated it. Please don't make me kill bunnies again. Let's get cooking. So these are all tasks and things like that. So from here on out, you follow what he says to do up over here. Once you're done with that, which I'm going to go through it, I just don't want to have to explain every single step. Once you go through doing everything he says to do, following the mini-map and stuff like that, you'll be open to do what you want to do in the game. This is just to teach you the fundamental basics of the game. You have to cook meat or fish. So we'll cook some crayfish. So again, it's telling you where you need to go. Now we can move windows around and things like that. So I usually have my mini-map fairly large. So it's sending me to go fishing. So this is the whole of the world. So we can actually shut down this activity if we want to. This upgrade button is going to be stuck here. It's the upgrade to member button, which you're never going to actually probably hit. It costs, I think, $15 a month to be a member if you pay for it that way. So now we are down here. We're going to fish. So they want me to catch 12 of these. So we're going to sit here and wait. So we just went up a level. As you can see, it says up here, level up. It will flash until you click on it. When you click on it, it will tell you the new things that you can do with that skill if you don't already know. We're not really concerned with that right now. We're just trying to get through this. And now, like I had said before, at the beginning, if you had clicked that you played this already, you wouldn't actually have to go through all of this. So it's telling you to make a fire. You wouldn't have to go through all this. You could skip to just playing the game and doing what you want to do. So now we're going to use the crayfish on here, cook. Now we're going to burn some of these, which means we're going to have to go and catch some more because our level is only level 2 for cooking. Oh, now we're level 3. You'll notice when you first do skills, levels go up very quickly. For instance, my main character that I play with, I've been at the same magic level for about a week now, playing quite a bit, but that's just part of it. Also, we did not burn any of these. So now they want you to do mining and smithing. So basically what they're doing is they're walking you through where everything is in this main town. This is the starter town. The starter town actually used to be a town called Lumbridge, but they changed it to this when they went to RuneScape 3, which is what this version of the game is called. So they're walking you through where everything is so you can get started. So we need some copper ore. We're going to need to get some tin. And then this is what's available in our inventory space. You can hold 28 items. There's no way to make it bigger unless you have a Beast of Burden, which is a thing later in the game. So we can fill this up and then you can go to your bank, you can empty it out. I'll show you tricks for banking in a later video, but for now this is just trying to get through the beginning of this. So now they want us to mine some tin. And these are all actual players in here. So if you right click on a character and you see like a skill level or a combat level, that is an actual human player that you are playing with. So you can interact with them. If I wanted to chat, I can say, hey, how's it going? And then I send it. You hit enter to chat. Don't just start typing buttons, because if you just start typing things, people are going to be a little confused. Alright, so we want to go back out. And now we're going to go to smithing. So smelt in the furnace. We want to make 2 bronze bars because that's what it says we need to do over here. So we have made those. Now we're going to heat the forge. We're going to make a bronze helm. This one, begin project. So this is going to heat up the metal for us. Once you see that blue bar go away, you can then take your unfinished thing and then use it on the anvil. When you get later in the game, you actually don't have to do that first. You can actually just start on the anvil. And then when you see this blue line get all the way to here, you go over and you heat it on the forge to get it warm again so you can actually forge it. Alright. So we are all done with that. We're going to put our helmet on. So we just finished basically a quest, so we were given a reward. So we got 7 bronze bars. We can finish making a whole suit of armor, or we can go talk to this guy again so we can get through doing all of this. So again, this is a pretty long intro to the game, but it is going to show you everything you need to do. So we have adrenaline, which as you fight, adrenaline goes up, which they're going to explain. When it will slowly drain back down to 0. When it does that, out of combat, it actually heals you. But you can use special abilities with your adrenaline. So this is your action bar. So the screen can get pretty crowded, so it's a good idea to reorganize things. So like the chat window, I don't use all that much, so I usually make it really small, but just enough so I can see what's going on around me. I usually will put these together like that because the adrenaline and everything is already down there. So abilities are one of the actions, so that's an ability. So there are ways to get into make this do stuff automatically, which I'll show you in another video. So we can drag cooked meat down there. So they want us to go fight some trolls, some chuckers. So that's what we will do. So let's go find ourselves some chuckers, which are up here. I actually enjoy this troll cave even at the higher level that I'm at. It's a very easy way to get some quick resources for certain things. So now we're going to sit here, and this is the combat. Now, like I said, you can do this game as a pacifist. It just makes it a little bit harder. The game is about combat pretty much. So we can collect things, so we can loot. So we Now, again, bury these bones. When you bury the bones, you gain prayer experience. So we need to kill 5 of these chuckers. Alright, go kill this one. Oh, it wants us to go do this thing over here. So, loot. Looted. So right here is how many gold we have on us, which is our coin pouch. I actually tend to play with this sitting over here. I usually put it over here, but they're going to make life difficult for me. So when you pick up coins from the ground, like looting all, it actually adds to your coin pouch. And then if you don't want to carry around your gold in case you die or something like that, you can actually just put it in your bank so that it accumulates for you. And while you're in combat, you can actually bury bones at the same time, which makes it sort of a way to speed that process up. You also don't have to bury these. Now, these are actually worth some money. They're worth 284 gold each, so if you need money quickly or you want to accumulate some wealth quickly, don't bury your bones, hold on to them. And then when I do the video explaining the Grand Exchange, I'll explain what you can do with them. So we can talk to him. You're injured, you can eat some food or stand near the bank. So we're going to go ahead and eat some crayfish. We're now healed up. Talk to this guy. Go back up into here. Again, this is kind of tedious for somebody like me that knows how to do all this stuff, so it's making me do this in order to continue. But once you get through it, you'll have a very good understanding of what you need to do. So now we're going to fight Morningstar, who is a boss troll. He's a level 10, which I find quite amusing, because that's really not that strong. So we're going to attack him. Now we have our abilities are automatically going to happen down here, or we can do it ourselves. But we want to keep an eye on our health. Eat the crayfish, or you eat food in order to keep your health up, because you don't want to die fighting this thing. So we have 1,000 health. When I get close to half is usually when I start healing. You don't want to waste food, so like these crayfish heal 200 health, so you don't want to like heal when you're at 950 health, because it kind of wastes the food that you have on hand. I forgot I have this piece of chicken here too. We eat the chicken, we eat the crayfish. Looks like we're going to be cutting this one pretty close to beat this guy. Alright, he's got 8 health left, and boom. We killed him. Now we're going to pick up what he dropped. So he dropped an offhand mace and Morningstar bones. So you can actually dual wield weapons now. That's actually a fairly new feature to the game when they did the evolution of combat. So now we actually have a mace in one hand and a dagger in the other. So we're going to go down to this guy. So if you click this button right here, it will shoot the camera north, which is how I prefer to have my camera, so that I am always oriented in the same direction. So now we have more things that we can go do. So basically, for the rest of this, you just follow through everything this guy wants you to do. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, because this video would be about an hour and a half long if I did that. But this is what you have to go through if you click that you've never played the game before. So if you want to be taught step by step how to do everything, do it this way. If you don't want to learn step by step how to do it and you kind of want to just jump into it and figure it out yourself, click that you have played before and you'll kind of just jump right into the game. So with that being that's the end of this video. I'm going to get more into the nitty-gritty stuff on how to make money and goals and activities that you can do in the game in my next video. So thanks for watching, guys, and make sure you hit that subscribe button.